Hello everybody, this is Andrew Cosman, physiotherapist with ADM Ottawa Physiotherapy. Today is the third and final installment of different information, learnings, education, as well as exercise related to neck that would be relevant for many people's neck pain. Um, as always, you take this information with a grain of salt. It may or may not be appropriate for you, so it's not a substitute for any sort of medical or physiotherapy type evaluation. However, I'm getting a lot of really good feedback so far, so I'm happy to continue giving some suggestions with regards to the exercises. Now, if we consider the forward head posture, which has been sort of the basis for some of the recommendations so far, where somebody might be slouched and sitting like that, we gave the first recommendation of having the neck drawn backwards in order to counteract that chin poking position. The other thing with the whole rounded shoulder element to this posture, we had suggested last time squeezing the shoulder blades as well. So this time around, there's going to be a subtle difference between the new exercise as well as compared to the very first exercise. So in the first case, I'll remind you that the whole neck, instead of being poked out, would be drawn in. Okay? What's different this time around is we're going to do a miniature nod with the neck. Okay? So that miniature nod is targeting very specific muscles that will become very relevant for your neck. As you could imagine, when the chin is poked out, the muscles that are used to hold the chin in, as we were just addressing, don't get used very often. So then accordingly, those muscles get really weak. And as mentioned in the email that I sent accompanying this video, that there are muscles that we identify with the lower back as core strengthening or core stabilizing muscles that give stability to the spine. Well, this same miniature nod muscle group is kind of the equivalent when it comes to the neck. So it becomes really important to giving your neck stability and health. So that's why we don't want to ignore the strength aspect, where the first exercise is mostly going to be trying to address the flexibility with some neck strength component. This one is going to be mostly focusing on the strength piece. It is possible to do it when you are sitting without anything behind your head, but my recommendation is often for people to start this one while they're lying on their backs, so that they don't have to navigate, is my head too far forward or back, or where their head is in space. It just kind of cleans things up and keeps it simple. Another alternative for people, do this safely if it's appropriate when you're in your car at a stoplight and your head is pressed up against that headrest. It might be a good position to practice that exercise. Of course, don't do anything silly. And another alternative could easily be up against a wall where the head is making contact with the wall. But somebody like me and many others might have to overextend to reach, in which case you might want to put a towel or something to fill in the gap and then do your mini nod from that position. Okay, so those are just a couple of ideas with regards to that mini nod that will be very helpful. The thing that we want to take into consideration and how to apply this, sure, we can set aside time during the day in order to do the exercise itself, but if we apply similar principles that we do with the lower back and the core, where people tend to try to engage it throughout the day, if they're going to do a difficult task and they want to brace a little bit in order to give their back a little bit more stability, the same goes with your neck. So for those who might find themselves in the kitchen cooking with their head down, you want to be mindful of if the chin is poking out while your head is down. So there would be no trouble in trying to tuck your chin back in. Again, I would hesitate to force too far, but simply engaging that mini nod to avoid excessive chin poking. could be a really good way of preventing problems from coming up. It's good to be mindful of, if you're the type of person who likes to exercise in general, whether you're working out your legs, your arms, your upper back, what tends to be the first thing to start compensating is actually the neck. So people find themselves doing different arm exercises, looking at their arms as they're doing it, or really straining and then really moving their neck out of position to kind of get the last couple of repetitions of what's a heavy load. So we really want to be mindful of the neck position through our day-to-day living, trying to keep that chin in that miniature nod position when possible, in order to protect the neck and give it stability. So if you have any questions, as always, you could always reach me at 613-820-8765. I'm looking forward to hearing some feedback. And until next time, take care.